So I guess I'll take it off. What was your all's inspiration for taking this family show and making it a horror film?
I'm going to try not to read into that question. It sounded like there's a little bit of rage in there.
No, I think that honestly, the original idea came from Sci-Fi and from Blue Ribbon Content. We had worked with them before, and they called us up, and they had this property. And one thing that Blue Ribbon does that's really exciting and a lot of fun, especially as a writer, is they take old properties, Warner Brothers properties, and they really go, how can we twist this? And it's not always making it a horror movie or making it something kind of demented. It's really just going like, how do we take this that maybe we've tried to reboot a few times and it hasn't quite caught on, and do something really, really different with it. And so they called us up and said, we want to do a Banana Splits horror movie. And that's all they said, and we really immediately knew what that was. I mean, I think when you watch these shows, there's something inherently creepy about someone in a full costume, you can't see their face, dancing around, doing crazy things, manic things. And if you replace the theme music of the Banana Splits with like the Halloween theme or something, it would be scary. So that's kind of where we started. And then we started to think of movies that were sort of lived in this area, that just iconic images that we thought a lot about. The original Westworld movie with Yul Brynner walking through those, he's this robot who's supposed to be this sort of thing of pleasure and serve us, and then he decides to go crazy, he goes crazy, he snaps. Him walking through those hallways, pursuing people. We thought about the original Child's Play, where you have this doll that is supposed to be a wonderful thing, and then ends up trying to kill this kid's family that everybody loves. So it was really going, how do you take this thing that is beloved and is supposed to be for kids, and then make it betray you?
Are there nods to sour grapes and Danger Island?
There aren't,
There are none.
unfortunately.
There are none.
No? Okay.
We definitely thought about it, and we tried to sort of work everything in. It became just sort of
It's a budget issue. It's at the end of the day, and bringing more kids on stage and trying to figure out where I think we kind of went. We've got enough story to tell, but that doesn't mean there couldn't be in the future.
Yeah, this movie is kind of open-ended. It sets up a potential sequel, so if people dig it and we get to do another, then yeah, you might see some sour grapes show up.
I just lost my question. Go ahead, somebody. Wow.
How much of this is projection? Your writing is projection. Like, have you ever thought about what you would do if you were wearing the mask and you were holding the axe?
Here's what I can say. I don't think that it's a projection in that way, but we worked a ton in kids TV. We've done like 4 shows in kids TV. So in a lot of ways, this was much more of like catharsis about all the people we've ever worked with, and that anytime we had like pent up anything, we put it into this.
I mean, that's why we set the show, set the movie in a world where the Banana Splits is still a show that's on. It's still popular. Kids still like it, and we actually turned it into a multicam audience show, so kids could come see the show live, because we've worked in this world. It's amazing. It's super fun. There's wonderful people. We've worked with amazing kids, but it's a business run by adults, and not all of these adults are secure.
So sometimes you wish robots would murder them.
And so we really sort of go, let's have some fun here, and let's take this world where we've had ups and downs, and let's let the killer Banana Splits run wild.
When you guys are writing the dialogue and sit and say, okay, Giggle says this and this one says that, that's one thing. But when you hear the actual voices, I say actual because it sounds dead on,
sure,
coming out of these things in the finished film, what is your reaction to actually seeing it brought to life as the writers?
I mean, look, that's always fun. We've been fortunate enough to be both writers and to be showrunners, so we've been able to be through the process having all the control and none of the control. And so when something like this happens, where you turn in a script and then you don't really know what's going to happen, and it comes back like this, and it's great, and you just go, I don't question a single decision. This was amazing. That's an incredible feeling when you go, here's somebody. I mean, we've never in person gotten to meet Tanishka, and yet she made this movie that was in every way what we imagined. I don't think there was a single moment where we were like, what was she thinking? We're like, no, this is incredible. This exceeds what we thought it was going to be, and that never happened. It never happened.
And to your point with the voices, I think that that's kind of part of how wonderfully awful it is. You know, it's not that they became creepy voices. They're still having fun. There's still the lovable, have fun, you know, manic, crazy, just wanting to keep the show going guys that we all know and love. They're just doing awful things, and I think that made it even scarier.
It plays great. That's sort of the smart thing.
Oh, good.
It plays great. Awesome.
So there was nothing that you wrote, and they said, no, that's too much. That's too far, right?
Oh, definitely not.
No.
They never asked us to rein it in, ever.
No, in fact, they probably pushed us, you know, in a lot of places where we would turn in a draft and they go, can you make this a little more messed up, and can you push this kill? And, you know, one of the things that what the viewers will ultimately find out, kind of why the splits are doing this and what their ultimate goal is, to us just was so sort of wonderfully demented that once it gets to the end, we were like, once we had that in our heads, we were like, this is going to be great.
I think we just couldn't be too precious about it. You know, we just had to, because that's the thing about getting to mess around with these properties is like, you know, yes, they're beloved, but what we're doing is a chance to kind of do something totally different and new, and you know, puts them back on the map, which is kind of fun.
Now, when you took this beloved property and you just twisted it up, did at any time working on the project or after that have you guys either in a serious conversation or just as a throwaway joke with, you know, in a conversation, come up with other concepts for other beloved shows and how you would twist them up?
I mean, we have one that we've been pushing these guys on, and we can't, we're not, Peter won't let us talk about it, but I mean, it's not a horror movie. It's like a really kind of super sweet coming of age thing, but it is done with you know.
It's the last property that you would expect, and so I think that that's what excites us. It's not necessarily taking these old shows and turning them into something scary or kind of messed up. It's really going, how can we take them and what do they sort of lend themselves to in a way so you go, why didn't I think of that? But also feels fresh and new and exciting.
And all of a sudden things that were like kind of languishing are become completely relevant. And that's, you know, I mean, I think the Banana Splits is an interesting thing because it, you know, when it was made, it was sort of a commentary on prepackaged children's television. I mean, it's a parody of the Monkees, you know, which was an assembled band that was put together to make money, you know what I mean? And the Banana Splits is a sort of a commentary on that, and then to sort of use it again for an entirely different reason is an exciting thing to do. You know, that's the fun thing about messing around with these old properties.
It also gets people talking about the Banana Splits again, which, you know, they've tried to reboot it several times as the old show, and it just hasn't caught on. When we all start talking about this, we realize, hey, love it or hate it, people are going to talk about the Banana Splits, and now everyone's tweeting about them. I mean, it's back in the zeitgeist, and which is fantastic. Then you can take those properties, now everybody knows what they are, and maybe you can do it again as a kid show.
Maybe there is a life for the old catalog. You know?
But people are back talking about
Put Draw to Draw as the gunslinger.
it. Yes,
There you go. Just really good.
Awesome. Thank you.